I think it's really interesting that we could present someone with a great service or a great product, and they turn us down because they know us, but yet some stranger rings a doorbell and they've got Avon or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll like gladly buy like tamales. But if it's you, they're like, come on, it's like, why is the attitude different? Why is it, such a cardinal sin for your friend to sell you something, for us to sell them, And so, it goes back to what you were saying, value. It's like, it's a mindset, right? Mm-hmm. Because I've purchased things from people, I've supported them, and so I'm like, you know what? Let me try this.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
I think everybody should try it, and then again, it leads back to the fact that they don't want to risk it, the fact that they don't want to try new things, that they're just, closed, and it's normal. A lot of people. They don't want to
try things from you.
Yeah.
But they'll go, like somebody on Facebook will put, hey, I'm selling this, and they don't know the person very well. But they'll go and buy stuff from them. Yeah. But here we are like, wait, we grew up together, man. What the hell? Like, what's going on? And some of my good friends who understand this have told me, Alex, it's just that they don't want you to do better than them. They don't like the idea that they're working 9 to 5, pushing pencils behind a desk somewhere in some office, some cubbyhole, and you're out here doing this.
Yeah. It's part of life. And like I said in the first sessions, you're always going to have that group of haters. And if you're surrounded by them, you're going to become them. And if you don't want that lifestyle, you get out now. So a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are very, very scared. Maybe the people that are hearing us, they're scared. They're really scared to, be on the road by themselves, and they want to be surrounded by that people because they feel comfortable. So, as much as I hate to say it is, you hang around 4 losers, you become the 5th loser. You hang around 5 very knowledgeable people, you become, the 6th, and so on. So just ask yourselves, how is your circle looking? Where are they going? What's their future like? And that's going to be you, because that's where you're putting your energy and your time in, and you're consuming all that.
Right. Mm-hmm. That is so true. That is so true. I mean, having a support group, having like-minded individuals around you, you have to have, people get offended when I say this, and I've said it, I posted it on Facebook before. It's like, hang around quality people, people that are going somewhere. Yeah. Because, we also talked last time, we were having a conversation about people that, they claim they're so smart because they got their degrees and their certificate, and they walk in a room.
Yeah.
And we have a Bill Gates, we have a Mark Cuban, we have a Robert Kiyosaki, we have those kind of smart guys, right? Yeah. That are successful. And what did these people do? And these guys are there to talk, to share knowledge and tips, and it's rare to meet someone it doesn't have to be those famous guys, but people that are truly smart are in a room, and you walk in, and you're either the type of person that's going to talk and show off and talk about what all the knowledge you possess, or you're going to listen and ask questions. Yeah. Because a lot of these people, and I've met so many of them, and I've seen them, and I feel embarrassed for them. They walk in a room, and they're just boasting and bragging. And when they leave the room with the same amount of intelligence they walked into the room with. And it's really foolish, because they could have asked questions and learned from these successful people. Yeah. Or if it's just one person, you've had people like really smart people.
Well, that's what the school system does. It teaches you to be a perfectionist. You have to get an A. You have to just, that's all you have to do. You cannot get things wrong. And when you're asking questions, people think that you have it wrong, but it's totally backwards. And that's where, I was in the same boat. It's like, I can't ask a question because, they're going to think I'm stupid, and I'm scared. But in reality it raises your knowledge, your confidence, and people know that you're willing to learn. And school has really taught you is you have to be an A student. You have to get good grades. You have to go study and be the best one ever.
Memorize stuff out of textbooks.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's some good things there because they do teach you to be the best version of yourself, which is correct. I believe every person has to always push themselves, but there's a lot of other things that, unfortunately the school system will never, and as much as so many entrepreneurs talk about it, will never teach you. No. But the one thing that people got to do is always ask questions. If you don't know it, ask questions, because you'll never know. Always learn from other people, because that's going to take you a whole nother level. You even jump years ahead of where you were going. I was able to do that, and I'm beyond grateful, and I'm still continue to ask questions. I'm still learning. I like to observe, and I like to take action based on, what they're doing. So if my mentors are doing certain actions, I want to do the same thing. Right. Might not be the same type of income and the same type of risks, but I'm gonna take those type of risks. So surrounding yourself with the right people, only quality people, and that's what Les Brown says is OQP: study only quality people, and that's what you become.
Right, and that's on that note. People that aren't interested in learning from someone else because they're so interested in proving them, just showing how much they know. Those people are called dilettantes. They're the ones that know it all, and you can't get a word in because they just overlap you. You're talking and they just kind of talk over you, and they're like, well, I went to Harvard, I went to this college, and I did this, I got 10 certificates, and the smart guys are just looking at her like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
You have to, I like what you said also, like, quality people. It's so important to surround yourself with quality people because that's how you learn.
Yeah.
By, asking questions. I learned, from when I was young, and my dad told me this too, and I've read it before a few times. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Only the questions you don't ask.
Yeah. I
had a math teacher say the same thing in a different way, but I got to thinking because I was so shy. I was afraid to ask questions too. I don't know why. I was just very insecure about myself. I had a kind of a low self-esteem growing up. I was just embarrassed to even talk. I mean, I'm surprised I'm even on the camera now, but back then I couldn't talk to girls. I was so timid, of the world. I felt like out of place. But I remember some of my mentors in school, teachers said, it's okay to ask questions. And I remember those teachers to this day because they encouraged me to ask a question. There's no such thing as a dumb question. You won't learn, you won't know unless you ask.
Yeah, no, and believe it or not, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful entrepreneurs, they love when people ask them questions. When people are not asking questions, they honestly, there's something wrong with that, because that's when they see, hey, this person thinks that he knows everything, he or she,
Right.
So a lot of successful entrepreneurs, like other people asking questions, especially, in their circle. They like to find out more things. They want people to always be asking questions, and that lets them know that they're always learning.
Right.
Because when you don't ask, you kind of give it away that you already know the answer. But in reality, we don't all know the answer to everything.
One of my mentors, he personally has met Elon Musk in person, and he said Elon is really smart. He for being a multi-billionaire and super smart, he doesn't go and talk about, I did this, I did that, and I have all this money. He'll sit there and talk. He'll ask you questions. Like he asked him, what do you think about using social media to market this? Or what do you think of, he'll ask questions to see what you think.
Yeah.
And then he'll think and process that. And you're asking questions, and you're telling him all of your ideas and stuff. He goes, oh, okay. And he doesn't really give up what he knows. He asks. He's really smart. Like, he'll ask. Even though he's a billionaire, even though he's successful already, he's always asking people.
He's continued to learn. I think every single person has to continue to learn. You have to continue to learn every day.
I thought that was so cool. I'm like, here's a guy who's a pretty smart cookie already, and he's asking people that aren't even famous what their opinions are. He's collecting data all the time.
Yeah.
That's admirable. It's like, wow, he doesn't have to, but he's always learning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can you hate a guy? Because I know people that just because he's got money, they don't like him. I'm like, well, he could end world hunger if he, I'm like, what? Come on.
No.
They don't understand that he's already him, Warren Buffett, all these guys are giving millions and billions a year.
Well, it's like the news, right?
Right.
Every single news, you are never going to see them put more positive than negative.
Right.
They put more negative than positive. The reason is people are more attracted to negative. Yeah. People they fear more. And, when you talk about people that are just accustomed to, being like a horse with those blinders,
yeah.
The news knows. They know that they could get the majority of the people to fall, under fear. And that's what they get paid for the more traffic. But it's very rare for anybody to show more of victory than losses.
That's true.
So people will always show, losses. But it's not like the basketball or sports, it's backwards in sports. They only see the shots made, the home runs, the touchdowns, but they'll never show you how hard they worked, So
it's like a movie trailer to show you the highlights.
Unfortunately, not a lot of, you can't really blame people in that situation, but you can.
Yeah.
Because everybody, again, has a choice to not watch the news. You have the choice to not just listen to negative stuff.
Right.
You have the choice to listen to good stuff, positive side. You have the decision to put your energy, where you're headed.
Right. Yeah. I mean, gosh, bro, I could tell you why I've had my fair share of failures, and I started different businesses. I had a cleaning business. I had an advertisement. I used to build computers. Hardly no one uses computers. I still do because I need to for what I do. But I got into the business of making hip hop beats for clients. While I was doing that, I was building computers, and I tried different things, and along the way I learned from my mistakes. I learned, okay, this is what you do here. This is, obviously now we're in a new era where brick and mortar businesses are, and I said this years ago, that's going to end. Banks are going to go belly up and the central banks are going to start taking over. That was during, I think, Obama administration, the first 4 years. And I remember posting that on my old Facebook, and people thought it was crazy. And I saw the trends and I saw things evolving, and I'm like, wow, we're headed for something different now. And as entrepreneurs, we need to look ahead and look at opportunities.
Yeah.
We need to know what's up.
Yeah, I think the other thing is it's important to always be on top of your game in any industry, any department that you're in. Yeah. Always be on top of your game. Always. And that's what it leads back to learning. Always be learning, always be asking questions, and always be surrounding yourself with the right people. So you nailed it right there.
Yeah, I totally believe in that because as we mentioned this before, the education system has failed us.
Oh, they'll continue to. And, one of the things I actually read this morning is the school system in the country is having a very hard time hiring teachers. I could tell you why. A lot of teachers are starting to find out they can make more money by home. They can make more money doing something, on the side or, anything, instead of going and teaching something that is not really going to be a good thing for the kids in their future,
Yeah, I said this last year, or was the year before. I said online digital courses is one of the next big things. Yeah. You can teach anyone how to do something. Teach them history, the history they don't teach in class in school. You can teach it if you know it online. They're having over half of their teachers in the country. They're basically having a very hard time. And I was reading it this morning. I was like, wow, it's very sad. Of course, it's sad. But if the school system would bring anything with financial, we both know that they're not going to ever do that ever. Even when we're past gone, they're never going to add that type of subject. But if they were to bring something like that, it would help them. But people are realizing that you don't need school. And even social media, with a lot of people that have been interviewing a lot of successful entrepreneurs, they have even suggested you don't need school. You don't need a college degree to be successful. So the truth is slowly coming out.